So today we're going to show you how to use LPAC when searching for books. Now, LPAC is just a very fancy word for library search. And so I want to show you real quick on the Wolfpack Library website where you're going to find that. This is the home page. And if I come over here to the left where what I call the hamburger menu button is, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click on Find a Book. And it should take me here, and I can actually, if I need to find a physical book, click here, and you'll notice that what it pulls up is exactly what I already had pulled up. It's called the LS2 pack. And again, crazy name, but I just wanted you to kind of, when I say that, you'll understand what it means. Now, one of the first things that I would like you to do when you get here, just to go ahead and get it out of the way, is go ahead and click the login button. Now for students, your username is your ID number. It's what you type in when you go to the library to check out books. It's what you type in whenever you are in the cafeteria and you're needing to buy lunch. It's what you type in when you're on a desktop at school. This is the 6-digit number that each student has from the time they're here until the time they leave, whether it be kindergarten through senior year, or if you just got here in 6th grade, all the way until you graduate or y'all move. So, but teachers, it's just a little bit different. So that's why you're seeing something different. Now, password, your password is your birth date, your month, day, date, year, so that you know, so when you type that in, no slashes, no dashes, nothing, just straight your birth date. And it should log you in, and your first name, whatever's in our system is your first name, will pop up right here. Now you'll notice over here that I can click over here and I can get some account summary stuff, my activity, the books that I have out, any holds, any finds I might have, loan history. I have a lot of students who are like, hey, I read this book and it was really good, but I cannot remember the title, and we brainstorm, we can't remember it. So this is a great way to search for that. You can also create lists where you can save books to it. And this is something I'm going to suggest us do here in just a second. And then also save searches if you decide to save a search that you have looked at. Now on the front of each pack in the district looks very similar. You'll notice it has the Frisco ISD logo right here, and then your school name will be right here. You should only be working with your home school's website. If you say that you have a teacher at Trent for ILA, but your actual school that you would go to physically, if you could, was Fowler. You need to make sure that you are doing this from Fowler, because that's where you would pick up books if you wanted to get them. Same has to do with anywhere else in the district. If you go to Griffin and you have a Griffin teacher for ILA, great, that's who you would use. But just make sure who you have, and you'll have the ability to have a link to all of that. Now, on the front of Trent's one, you will notice that I have 2020 Lone Star books, I have 2019 Lone Star books, and then I have new releases. These right here might change periodically. I try to keep the most current Lone Star books always here. This might change to possible 2021 Lone Star books at some point. And then new releases is pretty much always there. You're able to click on that and you're able to kind of scroll through anything that I got that's new. Now I got quite a bit of new stuff right when we got back, because I ordered a lot at the end of last year. And so you'll notice that this list is quite extensive and long. So you can have a chance to go through that. Now, if you already know the title to a book that you would like to check out, you're more than welcome to pull that up. Let's say you want the selection. So I'm going to type in the selection here. That's the title of the book. Now, what's interesting about this series is that's actually the title of the whole series also. And so you'll notice that it pulls up pretty much all the books that are connected to it, okay? You'll notice that we have lots and lots of books available for that, and you'll notice that you cannot place them on hold. So how are we going to do that libraries to go thing if you can't place it on hold? I will show you that in another video. We're actually going to use Google Forms for that, so just keep that in mind, okay? We're not going to use the hold button at all for Trent Middle School. But if selection is something that you are wanting to get, you want to make sure you remember that, I'm going to add a list, and you can actually go to personal and you can create a new list. And you'll notice I've already created one, 2020 books to check out. But if you need to create one, you're more than welcome to do that. I'm going to click here, and that item has been added to my list of books that I want to check out. So that's how you can do it by title. Let's say that I want to do it by author. So I'm going to do McMahon, and that's Lisa McMahon. you should only have to put in the last name. I just happen to know her first name, but it's going to show me all the books we have by her. And you'll notice there are quite a few. I've got the Unwanted series, I've got the Going Wild series, and then Unwanted's Quest is there. And you'll notice she also has a few other books that maybe you didn't know about. It actually goes longer if you want to, if you can see that it's like 3 pages worth. A really easy way to show this a little bit better is list and flow. If I click on, you can see this is how the list looks. But if I click on flow, this is kind of something that I had never known before, and it's a really cool way to see it, is I will actually be able to see the cover, a little bit about it, and if it's available all in one spot, okay? Before I could only see if it was available on the cover. And I can actually click on the next button, and it will just formulate through all of these, and I can kind of look through and see if any of these are books that I want, and I can just continue to do that. And if I'm like, ooh, that's one I want to make sure and get, I'm going to add that to my list, make sure it goes to the personal. You might not have that configure button. That might be because I'm a librarian. Okay, and now that book is added. Now, sometimes we just don't know what kind of book we want. We don't know the author, we don't know the title, we just want to look through books. What's great is you can actually do that by genre. So let's say that I want a romance book. Okay, it's actually going to pull up books for me. And you'll notice I have 359 here to look through that I can kind of say, okay, let's see what I got here. And then I can click through and see if there's anything that grabs my attention. I can kind of read a little bit of it here. If there's more to it, I can click further on that. I can show more, and I can go through and see what all's here. And this also will show you books like The Sick Kids in Love is a book that just got put in the system, but this Always Emily is a book that I've had before. So that's just kind of a great way for us to see what's here, whether it be new or old. I can also, let's say I want, and this is going to be a large section, but let's say I want fantasy. I can do that. And this is, like I said, I have a pretty large, extensive collection, 1,500 books. And so it's going to show me all of those. And so this might be where you're like, okay, I just want to go ahead and list this out and just see what it looks like. And I'm going to scroll through it this way, and I can do that if I would like to. You can keep the flow going. And up here, you can just say, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and scroll through and what this looks like. Scroll this down just a little bit. And I can say, oh, you know what? I really like this one. I think I'm going to add this one to my list. And you can keep building your list like that. I suggest you get quite a large list going, things that you want to check out. You can always, once you are, say you've got some lists going, I'm going to go over here to Save List. And if you're like, you know what? I don't think I want that book anymore, you can click Remove List. Now, this is not books that you are, you have to check out. These aren't you're bound to check these out. It's more of a getting an idea of what I want type of list. And so that when I go over to the Google form that you're going to see in another video, that you will be able to just type in the titles real quick of the books that you want your librarian to pull for you and have it ready. So when you come pick them up, they're ready. So that is how you use our library search engine. Remember, this is a personal experience. So if you like the list better or the flow better, if you like looking for specific authors, you can do that. But just keep in mind that you are going to be only checking out books from your library if you were to physically go to school. Some libraries do not carry the same books across the board, and it would be really hard for us because only students that are in our system show up. And those are the students that are tagged to go to our physical campuses. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact your librarian.